Welcome to this episode of the Harpreet Singh Show. I'm your host Harpreet Singh from Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. In today's program, we're going to talk to Dr. Kala Singh, a Sikh scholar from Vancouver. And our topic is very interesting because there's a lot of talk going on in the community about this particular issue. And the issue is sexual orientation and what does Gurmat say about it. A lot of people are talking from the Gurmat, from the Bani only, and talking that the Guru is allowing different kind of thoughts. But on the other hand, there is opposition also to this particular thought that the relationship is only between a man and a woman. So what is this concept and what does the Gurmat say about it? Let's get over to Dr. Kala Singh, and specifically we are talking in English because our purpose is to reach out to the broader community and especially our youngsters. Dr. Kala Singh, welcome to the program. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Harpreet Singh Ji. As you said, this is a very hot topic, and many people are asking that what Gurmat says about bisexuality, homosexuality. So I will be talking about both the proponents and the opponents of this thought, taking into consideration what Gurbani says about this thing. Harpreet Singh Ji, homosexuality, bisexuality, same-sex marriages, and eunuch culture, hijra culture has been there from time immemorial. Ages and ages it has been there. This is what the proponents of the same-sex marriage say, that this is not a new thing. When we look at Gurbani does not directly mention about such behavior, but does mention about a married life. If we look at the history of the Gurus, as far as we know, no gay marriage have been solemnized in the history of 10 Gurus, period. And out of 10 Gurus, 9 Gurus were married. They had children, and the one Guru, that was 8th Guru, was 8 years old, was not married. Marriage in Gurmat is seen as a union of souls. ਧਨ ਪੀਰ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਆਖੀਨ ਬਹਿਨ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਏਕ ਜੋਤ ਦੋਏ ਮੂਰਤੀ ਧਨ ਪੀਰ ਕਹੀਏ ਸੋਏ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਦੋ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਬਹਿ ਗਏ, ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਖਿਆਲ, ਜਦ ਤੱਕ if their thought process is not the same.
Yeah.
So the proponents of the same sex say that here Guru is saying that it is the union of the souls, the thought process. So ours is the union of the souls. So Guru here is putting a stamp on us. But the opponents say that here the Guru is talking about a marriage between a man and a wife. They are not husband and wife till their souls are one. Now, if we look at Lama, the Lama this is only one Shabad with 4 stanzas. They are read during the marriage ceremony of a Sikh. But in fact, it is a marriage of the soul bride with the husband God in 4 stages. So the first stage is the follow the path which is sin-free, but which is righteousness, dharmic path. Second Lama is to remove ego and develop love for the God, the godly virtues. Third Lama is to, through the Guru, remember the virtues of the God with every breath of your life. And finally, the couple will find the divine peace, husband, wife, and the soul bride. And here also in the marriage, between couple, it ends with a happiness. Now, the proponents of same-sex marriage say that we follow it. In the first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage, we follow it. So what's the problem? And the opponents say that here again, Guru is talking about bride, soul bride, and the husband God. Now, if we look again at Gurmat, Gurmat talks about sexual drive, that Kam Vasana. By Gurdas Ji, Var 29, Pori 11. By Gurdas Ji saying कि देख पराइयां चंगियां मावा भैना तियां जाने. Here, by Gurdas Ji saying that if you look at a woman, it is same for the woman that if they look at a man, they should not develop sexual drive. They should look at them as their brothers and sisters. On page 971, Guru is saying कि पर तन परती निंदा पर अपवाद ना छूटे आवागमन होत है फुन फुन ए प्रसंग ना टूटे. That one's others' wealth, others' spouses, and slandering of others. This does not go away. One dies spiritual death again and again. Now here again, Guru is talking about having sexual affairs with other spouses. That is again sexual drive, condemning. हाथ कमंडल कापड़िया मन तृष्णा उपजी भारी स्त्री तज कर काम व्याप्या चिंता लाया और नारी. The recluse holds a bowl in his hand, wears a patched coat, leaves the house, leaves his wife, but the ardent desires of other women, or the wife of others, is still engrossing him, and his thoughts are always on the wives of others. So this is not a recluse. काम क्रोध नगर बहु पर्या मिल साधु खंडल खंडा है. The mind village, the will is overflowing with anger and ardent sexual desire. These are broken into bits only with the spiritual teachings from the Guru. So here the Guru is condemning about sexual desire. Proponents of the same-sex marriage say, yes, though Gurbani condemns it, ardent sexual temptations, heterosexual marriages are also sexual in nature. Even if some are for love. But at the end of the day, it is the sex. And if there is no sex in the heterosexual marriage, they break away. Opponents of the same-sex marriage say, yes, our marriage is also for the sex, but it is not only and only for sexuality. Yours is only and only for the sexuality, but ours is for sexuality, and the sexuality is for the reproduction and continuity of the creation of the God.
Right.
Here
Dr. Sahab, it's time for a break. We'll go for a break, and once we are back, we'll continue discussing about this important issue, because what we are seeing in the community is an increasing trend in same-sex marriages, and especially amongst the youngsters. When you talk to them, and definitely they are very much open on these issues, but has the community understood where we need to go forward? We'll talk all about this after this short break.
हर रंग है साडे को, हर मॉडल, हर एक दी अपनी वक्री पहचान. ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਹਾਂ, ਸਾਡਾ ਕਰਮ ਹੈ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਧਾਉਣਾ, ਸਫ਼ਰ ਨੂੰ ਸੌਖਾ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ. ਬਸੰਤ ਮੋਟਰਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕਰਕੇ।
है जुल्म ढाने का अंदाज भी कितना हंसी, हमारी जान पर बनाई है जब जब उसने अंगड़ाई ली। कभी खामोश रहते हैं, कभी शोर होता है। मोहब्बत में शरारत का मजा कुछ और होता है। दिल को जज्बात का तोहफा, खामोशियों को बात का तोहफा, खूबसूरती में जड़ी नजाकत अदाओं की चांद से मुखड़े को चांद सा तोहफा।
भारत ज्वेलर्स, सच्चे प्यार की चमक जैसा। फाइल बिजनेस सेंटर सरी।
ਕੁਦਰਤ ਦੇ ਸੌਮਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਆਯੁਰਵੇਦਾ ਰਾਹੀਂ 5000 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਬਣਾਏ ਗਏ ਹੈਲਥ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਅਪਰੂਵਡ 100% ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਆਯੁਰਵੈਦਿਕ ਡਾਇਟਰੀ ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਦਾ ਲਾਭ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ, ਐਂਗਜ਼ਾਇਟੀ, ਇਨਸੋਮਨੀਆ, ਬਲੱਡ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ, ਕਿਡਨੀ, ਬਲੈਡਰ, ਹਾਜ਼ਮਾ, ਆਈਸਾਈਟ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਦਾ ਆਰਗੈਨਿਕ ਇਲਾਜ, ਜੋੜਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਦਰਦਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਰੀਰਕ ਮਸਾਜ ਲਈ ਕਈ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਆਯੁਰਵੈਦਿਕ ਤੇਲ ਵੀ ਉਪਲਬਧ ਹਨ। ਹੋਲਸੇਲ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ 604 628 2003।
Once again, welcome back to the program. This program is being brought to you with the support of Agnihotri Immigration Consulting. If you are wanting to know about temporary status, you want to come to Canada, you are a PR, you want to are new to Canada or an international student, you want to hire foreign workers, you want to know about express entry, or you want to sponsor parents or grandparents, Neera Agnihotri has been working as a certified immigration consultant since 2006. And she says that she will provide you honest and reliable information. For more information, call 604-597-2284. Our next sponsor is Day to Day Wholesale Cash and Carry. This is British Columbia's largest South Asian grocery store where you can buy groceries, party-wear, kitchenware and homeware at wholesale prices. For best prices, unique grocery buying experience and high-quality products, come to 7843 128th Street, Surrey. Phone number is 604-503-8787. They've opened up their second branch at Fraser Street in Vancouver also. Our guest today is Dr. Kala Singh from Vancouver, and what we are talking about is a very important issue which is also dividing the community. While there are proponents and opponents for the cause of same-sex marriage or heterosexuality and homosexuality, but the question is, what does Gurmat say about it? And that's what Dr. Kala Singh is taking us on this journey today. So let's get back to him and continue with our discussion. So Dr. Kala Singh, as you were mentioning that of course there are the opponents as well as the proponents for this, but the general trend what we are seeing in the communities and especially among the youngsters, as I asked you before the break, is same-sex marriages are on the rise. On the other hand, there is another trend which is creating a lot of problem, that children do not want to get married also now. That is another issue, but I will not touch much that in this particular episode. We'll talk about it in some other episode. So now, when it comes to same-sex marriage, as you are bringing out and telling the Gurbani, what Gurbani says about it and how it is being interpreted, what else can we find which can make us think what Gurbani is saying?
Yeah, Harpreet Singh ji, I am acting as devil's advocate, talking on both sides, not taking any one side, and it is for the audience after that to decide what they think is right and how they want to interpret it. Now, Gurmat recognizes oneness of God. एक पिता एकस के हम बारिक, तू मेरा गुरहाई. God is permeating into each and every molecule of the cosmos. We are children of one God. God is our father, God is our mother. And the proponents of homosexuality justify that Guru teaches that all humanity as one and treating all with respect. So why are you people against us? Opponents of the same-sex marriage say this would be like advocating that Sikhs can cut their hair, they can smoke, they can drink alcohol, not to wear 5Ks, not to pray, not to do nitnem, not to do any of the things which Gurmat says. And at the same time, they want to participate in each and every important religious roles because the Gurus preached equality.
Right.
It does not make sense that somebody who is smoking cigarette and he wants to be in the Panch Pyaras, one who is smoking and drinking wants to be the president of the Gurdwara, want to participate in each and every role. They say it doesn't make sense. So this is not what the Guru is saying, that you are my children and there is only one God. Now, on page 1350, Guru says, माटी एक अनेक भांतकर साजी साजन हारै, ना कछ पोच माटी के भांडे, ना कछ पोच कुम्हारे. कि as potter creates various forms of pots from the same clay, the creator God had created uncountable number of species and creatures from the same clay, that is from the same 5 elements. The way potter does its best to create pots, making sure there is no defect, in the same way, the creator God creates and makes sure that there is nothing wrong with the creation. Creator God is a perfect creator. Ekmkar Satnam Karta Purakh, that Purakh is a perfect creator. Now, could that be constituted that some humans choose to have different sexual orientation than the others, use drugs, smoke, practice anything like even cannibalism? In fact, there is nothing wrong with the creation, nor the creator. The problem is with the choices we make. Because freedom of choice is only with the human beings.
Right.
The choice is, there's nothing wrong with the creator and with the creation. There is whatever, if there's anything wrong, that is with the choices we make. Only humans, as I said, have the freedom of choice. Now, in order to justify their sexual orientation, protagonists state that Sikh religion emphasizes on self-acceptance. I'm okay the way I am. But, in fact, Gurmat emphasizes on acceptance of the cosmic law, hukam of the Creator God. Accepting the self is manmat, that is following your own mind. This is what the opponents say. Jathedar of Akal Takht, ex-Jathedar of Akal Takht, Jani Joginder Singh Vedanti, condemned homosexuality in March 2005,
Right.
when he told visiting Sikh Canadian members of parliament that they had a religious duty to oppose the federal bill on the same-sex marriage. I think we all know this thing.
Right.
It happened when this bill was brought in the parliament. Now, proponents of same-sex marriage labeled this hukamnama as homophobic. According to them, the Guru condemned the acts of the person, karma, not the person. So, for an alcoholic, alcohol is the problem, not the person. In the same way, for homosexual, the act of homosexuality is the problem,
Right.
not the person. Now, the opponents of the same-sex marriage counter it by saying, if condemning homosexuality is homophobia, will they call condemning consumption of alcohol as alcohol phobia? Abusing drugs as drug phobia? Cutting hair, being patit as patit phobia? It will never end. So, I have brought forward proponents and opponents of the same-sex marriage,
Right.
quoted different shabads, how both sides are interpreting it, how ex-Jathedar's edict has been understood by both. I'll come to the conclusion.
Yeah, before coming to the conclusion, Dr. Kala Singh, let's go for a break, and once we are back, then we'll conclude, because you have played again a wonderful role of just bringing forward both the sides and letting the public decide as to what they believe. But then again, the question is, there are some things, like for example, you mentioned the ex-Jathedar of Akal Takht, because Akal Takht is very prominent in the hearts of the Sikhs, and any hukamnama that comes from there is binding on all the Sikhs. And if they have taken a decision, it is after a lot of consultation and after researching Gurbani and then coming forward. So we'll talk all about this. Let's go for a break and we'll be shortly back.
ਘਰ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ ਪਲ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਜੀਵਨ ਬਤੀਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਦ ਕਿਸੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਜੇ ਹੋਏ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਬਦਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਨਵੇਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਰੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਤੱਕ, ਡ੍ਰੇਪਰੀ, ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗਸ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਡੈਕੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਐਕਸੈਸਰੀਜ਼ ਤੱਕ, ਤੁਸੀਂ SK ਹੋਮ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੁਪਨਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਹਕੀਕਤ 'ਚ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਸੰਦੀਪ ਕੌਰ 6048259295।
ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸਮੈਨ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ? ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਮੋਟਰਸ ਦੇ ਓਨਰ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦਾ ਉਦਾਹਰਨ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਾਰ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਮੋਟਰਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਸਰੀ ਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੈਂਟਰ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲੋੜ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜੀਂਦੇ ਟਰੱਕਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਗਾਈਡੈਂਸ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸਪੇਸ, ਮੋਡੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਫਿਊਲ ਐਫੀਸ਼ੀਐਂਸੀ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਟਰੱਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਟੌਰ।
ਵੈਨਕਾਸਾ ਟਾਈਲ ਅਤੇ ਸਟੋਨ ਸ਼ੋਰੂਮ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਲਸੇਲ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀਆਂ ਟਾਈਲਸ, ਸਟੋਨ, ਮਾਰਬਲ, ਬੈਕਸਪਲੈਸ਼, ਮੋਜ਼ੇਕ ਆਦਿ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਟਾਲੀਅਨ, ਸਪੈਨਿਸ਼, ਚਾਈਨੀਜ਼, ਪੋਰਸਲਨ ਜਾਂ ਸਿਰੈਮਿਕ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਜਾਂ ਮਾਰਬਲ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਆਰਡਰ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਲੀਅਰੈਂਸ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਮਾਲਕ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਇੰਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ, ਜਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟ ਕਰੋ 130428 ਐਵਨਿਊ ਸਰੀ। ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 604 330 7363 604 330 7363। This program is being brought to you with the support of AMC Insurance. They have 9 branches in the lower mainland to serve you, and they're open 7 days a week from 8:30 a.m. onwards till 9 p.m. If you're looking for home, auto, travel, business, life or recreational insurance, they can help you out. Phone number is 604-507-6666. So today we are talking a very interesting topic, which is a current trend in the community. Youngsters especially are very open to these kind of talks, but elders still do not want to talk about this. And Dr. Kala Singh has worked hard to bring in those teachings from the Guru Granth Sahib which are talking about it. But interpretation, of course, is an individual's interpretation, how you interpret it, how your thought is towards a particular issue. So let's get back to him and again continue with our discussion. So Dr. Kala Singh, before, from the religious angle what you are talking, but you are a medical doctor also, there is always an attraction for the opposite sex. It is not just in the humans we see in nature, it's always that is the case. But now when persons who are homos or they have a different kind of thought on this particular issue, is it some medical condition or is it just their internal attraction or something else?
Harpreet Singh ji, yes, there is a medical condition which attracts them to such type of behavior. It has been found recently. But as I said before, that this homosexuality and bisexuality have existed for centuries. During good old times. You know, those kings, they used to have 2 harems, one for the women and one for the boys. So they used to be bisexual, and it was an accepted fact in olden times, you know. But with the as we developed spiritually, religiously, this became a taboo. But now it is coming up again, and I have tried to bring up both sides without taking any side and quoting Shabads also. Now I will come to the conclusion side And again, the conclusion is for the listeners to make themselves. Gurmat teaches us to treat all humanity with dignity and respect. We may not agree with the homosexuality or bisexuality or transgenders, but we could also not agree with the lifestyle of those who drink and smoke and do drugs. So we should not be hypocrites and judge some and not others. Although Gurmat does not accept homosexual behavior, as we saw that Akshdathedar gave an edict. Gurbani teaches us that God is without hatred and animosity. Ekamkar Satnam Kartapurak Nirpao Nirvair. So we should not hate anyone on the basis of race, caste, color, creed, gender, or sexuality, or their belief that homosexuals are damned to hell as propagated by some religions.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that nirvair means that we should not have vair with the homosexuals, we should accept them. I'm just bringing it up. So it is up to the listeners to decide. So we are all children of God who loves us all regardless of our thoughts or actions. 654 अंक पर गुरु बख्शिश कर रहे हैं, हम सर दीन दयाल ना तुम सर, अब पतियार क्या कीजै, there's none as forlorn as I am and none as compassionate as you, the God. There is no need to assess the genuineness of my intelligence now. 784 अंक पर Guru says, मिठ बोलड़ा जी हर सज्जन स्वामी मोरा, हों समल थकी जी ओहो कदे ना बोले कौड़ा, कौड़ा बोल ना जाने पूर्ण भगवान है औगण को ना चितारे, वो किसी दे औगण नहीं चितारता. He does not look at my shortcomings. पतित पावन हर बिरद सदाए एक तिर नहीं पन्ना काले. So if who am I to look at the organ, at the shortcoming of someone, if the Creator God says कि वो organ को ना चितारे. So as a human being, I should respect whatever someone is. It is their choice. They want to be homosexual or bisexual, as we accept those who are drinking alcohol, which is also bad. So as a person, as a human being, I have no
right to judge it.
way to judge others. If God says God is Augad Kona Chitare. Now it is up to the individual to decide what to do or what not to do. I brought both sides.
Absolutely. Dr. Kala Singh ji, thank you very much for bringing out this issue, because of course this is a talk which we need to talk about, and definitely our religious groups, our religious places need to come forward and start talking about this issue, because youngsters are involved in this in a big way, and if it is not touched right now, it can create problems later on. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. Kala Singh ji. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh.
Khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh ji.
So this was Dr. Kala Singh from Vancouver, and the issue that he has brought forward is really interesting and very important, and also controversial also. So rather than just not talking about it, the time has come that we need to come forward and start discussing these issues so that some solution can be found. And as he has brought both the proponents as well as the opponents' views, it is for the public to decide what they feel about. but Gurbani teachings, what he brought from Guru Granth Sahib, are very vocal and very clear on what is being said. But definitely, of course, people have their own interpretation. But then definitely again, I believe that we should sit down, because if there is an issue, Guru also tells us that let's sit down, discuss about it and find solutions. Thank you very much for sparing your time and being a part of this program. Every evening from Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we bring issues that matter to us, that educate us, inspire us and empower us. If you also want to be a part of this program, or you know someone who can be an asset with some knowledge or wisdom which he can share, please do contact me through WhatsApp 604-603-7555, or you can email me at harpreetsinghshow@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for watching this program. Have a safe evening, stay healthy and enjoy yourself.
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰੀ, ਡੈਲਟਾ, ਰਿਚਮੰਡ, ਐਬਸਫੋਰਡ ਜਾਂ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵਾਂ ਘਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਨੋਵੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ? ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਤਜਰਬੇਕਾਰ ਬਿਲਡਰ, ਇੱਕ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਇੰਟੀਰੀਅਰ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਰ ਦੀ, ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਉਸਾਰ ਸਕਣ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਜਾਂ ਸੰਦੀਪ 6048259295 ਉੱਤੇ।
ਪਾਪਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਕਿਉਂ ਉਦਾਸ ਹੋ?
बेटा, तेरे चाचा दी कोरोना वायरस करके डेथ हो गई है, क्योंकि उसने मेरे कहने के बावजूद भी टीका नहीं लगवाया।
ਚਾਚਾ ਜੀ ਤਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਲਿਖੇ, ਸਿਹਤਮੰਦ ਅਤੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਨ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਟੀਕਾ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਗਵਾਇਆ?
ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਡਰ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਟੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਮਾੜੇ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਅਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਮਝਾਇਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਅਫਵਾਹਾਂ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਟੀਕੇ ਵਿਗਿਆਨਿਕਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਡਾਕਟਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਅਤੇ ਖੋਜ ਦਾ ਨਤੀਜਾ ਹਨ।
ਪਾਪਾ, ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਟੀਕਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਲਗਵਾ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸਿੱਖ ਹੈਲਥ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਵਾਓ ਅਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਟੀਕਾ ਲਗਵਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਰਣਾ ਕਰੋ। ਆਓ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਹੈਲਥ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਇਸ ਮੁਹਿੰਮ ਦਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਬਣੀਏ।
ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਵੇਂ ਤੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਸਟੋਵ, ਓਵਨ, ਫ੍ਰਿਜ, ਵਾਸ਼ਰ ਡਰਾਇਰ, ਮਾਈਕ੍ਰੋਵੇਵ, ਫ੍ਰੀਜ਼ਰਸ ਜਾਂ ਡਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ਼ਰ, ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਮ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਤੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ 3 ਬ੍ਰਾਂਚਸ ਸਰੀ, ਐਬਟਸਫੋਰਡ ਤੇ ਚਿਲਵੈਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ। ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ। ਇਹ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ ਤੇ ਇੰਸਟਾਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਪੈਕੇजेस ਫॉर ਬਿਲਡਰਸ ਐਂਡ ਹੋਮ ਓਨਰਸ। ਕਾਲ 6045904140 604 590 4140।